Hello everyone, I am Keith, and welcome to Jack's Math Notebook. In this video, we're going to get an understanding of fractional exponents, and we have three big examples to show you how we can work those types of problems out. But we're going to do this, we're going to do a little pattern recognition so we can ease our way into understanding fractional exponents. And with that in mind, let's take a look at big example one, in which we have 25 raised to the 1/2 power. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and work with 5 squared first so we can kind of understand the pattern of what we're trying to do here. And we know that 5 squared, or 5 raised to the second power, is going to equal to 5 times 5, which is equal to 25. And we also know that 5 raised to the negative 2 would be 1 over 5 squared, which will equal to 1 over 25. But let's get back to this 25 right here, and let's raise it to the 1/2 power. All we're doing is this, we're just square rooting the 25. So when you raise a number to the 1/2 power, it just simply means you're square rooting it. And keeping in mind that we're just going to pluck one of the twins, because see, when you square root a number, you're plucking one of the twins out, right? So square roots means twins, okay? And so let's say we have the square root of 25. We know it is 5 because 25 is 5 times 5, and so the square root of 25 is 5. Keeping in mind it is the number on the side of a square, and it's 5 right here. You see that? Now let's take a look at the second big example as it relates to fractional exponents. Now we have 3 raised to the third power right here, but before we talk about that, we're going to take a look at 27 raised to the 1/3 power. But don't be afraid, because once I walk you through the steps here, you will be okay with a fractional exponent, especially one with a 3 in the denominator. And so let's go back up here to 3 raised to the third power, and we know that it is equal to 3 times 3 times 3, which equals to 27. And conversely, 3 raised to the negative 3 would be equal to 1 over 3 to the third power, which is equal to 1 over 27. But we could walk it back to 27, and let's raise 27 to the 1/3 power. And what we're doing, we're working with triplets now, because see, now we're getting the cubed root of 27. And the question is, what number times itself 3 times will give me 27? And as you can see, it's 3 times 3 times 3. And if we pluck a 3, I'll pluck one of the triplets out. That answer is 3. All right, let's take a look at the fourth big example, in which we have the fractional exponent of 1/4. And so we have 256 raised to the 1/4 power. But before we work this problem out, let's go back to 4 raised to the 4th power. And we know that it is equal to 4 times 4 times 4 times 4, which equals to 256. And if you remember the pattern from the previous two examples, 4 raised to the negative 4th power would be equal to 1 over 4 to the 4th, which is equal to 1 over 256. And let's get back to 256 and raise it to the 1/4 power, meaning that we're dealing with quadruplets now. And what number multiplied by itself 4 times will give me 256? And as you can see, it is 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. And let's pluck one of the quadruplets out, and our answer is 4. Okay, you have been given some significant information, and I wouldn't blame you if you need to pause the video to take a look at these 3 big examples, or replay this video as many times you need to gain a deeper understanding of this concept. But in the meantime, please comment, share, like, and subscribe to Jack's Math Notebook for more content. Thank you and goodbye.